Hello everyone, Dark Kirby 14 here. Welcome to our Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition. Blah 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 blah. Okay. I can play as either one, but we're gonna lead with Fi because I haven't played with her as much. You get both in the chapter. I'm just picking Fi.
A servant of the goddess Hylia joined Link, and together they
So that's one of those.
But despite the victory, Ghirahim managed to slip away in the chaos. Hoping to
So that's
and close the gate of souls, Link followed
that's one of those.
sealed grounds. The Hyrule
Yeah.
and that was when Ghirahim sprang his trap.
Oh my gosh, it is freaking hot as hell in this damn house. I hate Florida! Oh my gosh, I would Ugh! Are you freaking kidding me? Ah! I looked over that, looked at as I was waiting for the loading. So that's one of those. I hate this state. I truly do. I truly hate this fucking state. That doesn't matter. I'm not approved for ads anyway. It really matters not right now. I don't really have ads, but still. And I'm sure I have a beep noise somewhere. I can beep it out. I'm sure there's a beep noise somewhere I can find. I'm sure there's a beep. I'm sure there's a beep noise somewhere. I just gotta find it. I've just gotta find it now. Alright, we just have to find the beep noise. I've just gotta find that noise. Yeah, I just gotta freaking find it. Yeah, I would freaking. Yeah, what I wouldn't give for some freaking good weather, like freaking. Not this! Yeah, anything but here. Yeah, basically anything but here. Because this state's weather sucks. This state's weather sucks. Florida sucks. I don't know how many times I have to say it. Florida freaking blows, man. The weather here is it's always hot. Like, 9 to 10 months out of the year, it is freaking swamp weather. I'm not kidding you. That's not a bad joke. That is literally 9 months out of the year that it's like this. I wish that was a bad joke, but it's not. Yeah, I wish that was a bad joke, but it's unfortunately not. Yeah, I wish the weather wasn't like this. It sucks here. Like, it's just awful. The weather here is abysmal and it's overrated. Like, I would definitely take some ADs right now over what's going on right now where it's borderline 100 degrees outside. That's not a joke. That's not a joke. Like, the weather here is awful. I don't get who would ever want to live here. Like, I don't get who would ever want to live in this awful state. Like, you have to have some kind of sadistic streak to want to live in this damn state. Like, you've got to have a real sadistic state to want to live here. Sadistic streak to want to live in this state. That's not hyperbole either. Like, I really mean that. You don't want to live here. Like, you don't want to live here. Like, this is one of the worst states to ever live in, to exist. Like, this state is just awful, I'm sorry. Like, there's literally nothing nice or redeeming about this damn state. This state is awful. Like, the weather is just awful. There's no other way to explain it. Like, why would you ever want to live in this state? Like, I don't get why anyone would ever want to live here. The weather is just... it's a blub of mech. Now, that's not being mean or being dishonest either. It's literally awful weather here. You don't want to live here. Like, if you're ever from here, you know exactly what I mean. The weather here is absolutely awful. Like, it's hot almost most of the year here. Like, it's just unbearable. That's just the fact. Like, I still don't understand why anyone would ever want to live in this state. Like, it boggles my mind why anyone would ever want to live here. Like, I don't get it. Like, this state is awful. Like, there are better states to live here. Don't live here. Like, don't ever live here. Like, I can't stress that enough to anyone. This state is awful. Unless you're an old fart who just doesn't care anymore, this state is not for you. Like, there's so much that... State is so freaking hot. Okay, there's so much I don't get about people who want to live here. Like, there's so much that I'm not sure people even get why. There's so much I just don't understand about people, but whatever. Like, I just don't get why people would ever want to live here. It's kind of like this game. Why does anyone play this game? It's kind of like Skyward Sword. I don't get how anyone could think that this game is good. It's not. There are things that I just don't get about people, and that's just one of them. Why would you ever want to live in this awful state? This state is trash. Like, literally, it's literally humid swamp weather, like, half the year, at minimum. But that's somewhat being generous. Like, that's how much the weather here sucks. Like, even if when I was losing weight, I was still sweating profusely because this day was so warm. Could also be that this state is just. That could also be just like my sweat gland, because I know there are people that your sweat glands are insanely used. It could be. It's always a guess. That could be as well. Or that could also be, but the state is just awful. I'm sorry, there's really no other way to say it. The state is trash. Like, there are better states to live in. Like, I don't get it. Oh, I should also probably announce that my streaming on the weekends will probably be less frequent. The sports season is really kicking up now. College football is starting up. That's one of those. The state is just, I'm sorry, it's just abysmal. Like, I don't get why anyone will ever want to live here. Like, this state is just awful. Go live somewhere else. Don't live here. Don't live here. The novelty of Disney is even wearing is worn off on my aunt. Like, it's just one of those places. Like, if I went to Cedar Point every year or a lot, I would probably be. So that's one of those. 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 That's one of those. So that's one of those, so that's. So that's just. That's. Like, I don't get how, like, anyone would want to live in this damn state. Like, I still don't. Like, everyone else loves it here. I don't. I hate this state. This state is awful. There's so many better states out there. Don't live here. I even think Michigan's better than Florida. So that's one of those. It just sucks. I'm sorry. Like, I would rather live in Michigan. Winter was fun. Like, it was just the sight of it. And that's one of those. That's That's sort of. You know, so that's one of those. I would never live here again. Like, I don't see what's so great about this state. I really, really don't. This is honestly one of the worst states to live in, ever. I'm not going to really hear any good... I've never really heard a good defense argument for this state. It's hot here almost all the damn time. It's hot, like... There's no break. Like, I still don't understand why people would ever want to live in this state. I don't understand. This state sucks. Like, I can't really think of anything remotely remedial about this state. It's just awful. Don't ever live here. Like, if you have a choice, just don't live in this state. This state is awful. Like, there are much better states to live in than here. Like, don't ever live in this state, just please. This state is trash. Like I said before, don't ever live here. There's also all sorts of bugs and whatnot. They're disgusting. Just no to this entire state. This entire state needs to eat an L. This entire state is an L. This entire state is just, no, it's just one giant, fat, giant L. I just no to the entire state. I just no to this whole state. Just know this entire state can eat an L. Just forever eat an L. Just no to this entire state forever. Just no to this state forever. Like, I don't know, like, I don't get it. Like the novelty wore off pretty fast. Now, the novelty of this state is already worn off. Oh, I did not mean to do that. Yeah, just no to this entire state. Oh, and no to this entire game. Yeah, just no. Yeah, just no to the entire thing. Yeah, like I don't get like what everyone thinks makes this state so great. Yeah, for me the novelty, like I'm pretty sure for everyone the novelty has worn off pretty quickly. The traffic, especially for the area we are in, is horrible. And there are parts of this state that I don't get why it exists in the first place. Like, you don't ever want to live here, just trust me. So just no, I know I'm getting ahead of myself. Kind of sound like a broken record, but that's exactly how I feel about this damn state. Like that's how I honestly feel about this entire state. Just no. Anyway, I guess with that, this has been Dark Kirby 14. We'll see you next time on more Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition.